Yo, what's up folks, TrevorCG here with Sultai, Dredge, and Explorer. It's been a little while, since Phyrexia came out, but there's still some territory left to explore. We do have Shadows Over Innistrad around the corner, and so the card we're looking at today in particular is Jace. Jace has kind of brought me back to the Dredge archetype. We still are missing Prized Amalgam, which we will hopefully get in Shadows Remastered, which will be dropping, I believe it's March 27th. That's the day I have in my head. And so the deck will be picking a bunch of new tools soon, so that would be a good time to look at it. But we're going to look at a bit of a different build today. Traditionally, if you look back on the channel, I've looked at some blue-black variants and Grixis variants in both Explorer and in Pioneer, but today we're having a look at Sultai. And the reason for that is we're playing Willow Geist and trying to build around it. So Willow Geist is green for a 1/1 with Trample. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Willow Geist. Then when it dies, you gain life with its power. Around that, we have the traditional Dredge shell, but obviously we're playing to be able to remove cards out of our graveyard. And so we have our enablers. We've got 4 copies of Stitcher's Supplier, and the best you have at 1. 4 copies of Satyr Wayfinder. We'll note that we're actually leaning in more to creature enablers because we're trying to play around with the Ghost effect and having creatures. Because the best way of enabling Willow Geist is actually Scrap Heap Scrounger. So it comes back for your graveyard, but it does that by exiling another creature from your graveyard too. So you want creatures to exile Scrap Heap Scrounger, so playing more creature enablers. But then also both the Scrap Heap Scrounger leaving the graveyard to come to the battlefield will trigger Willow Geist, and as will exiling the other creature from the graveyard. So you get a couple of counters there. Pretty nice. We are still playing Grizzly Salvage. Obviously, if you're in black and green, it is the best enabler you can play. Top 5 cards of your library, find a creature or a land if you want to, in the graveyard. And so those are the core things. And then the other thing, obviously, is Jace the Perfected and Mind. 2 blue with the Phyrexia mana symbol. Obviously, it comes down on 5 or 3. Generally, we're playing it on 3, obviously. Probably not going to cast it for 4. If you can, that's great. But, yeah. So we'll come on 3 if you cast it for 3. +1, as your next target turn up to 1 target creature gets -3/-0. That's not why we're playing it, obviously. The -2, target player mills 3 cards. Then if a graveyard has 20 more cards in it, you draw 3 cards. Otherwise, you draw a card. So mill 3 in the draw, or mill and draw a bunch. But the main thing here is this -X. Target player mills 3 times X cards. And so you can just play it for 3 mana and go, okay, -3, mill 9 yourself, which is a lot. We don't have access to breaking and entering in Explorer yet, which you have in Pioneer, which is just mill 8. But being able to mill 9 cards, you're hitting Creeping Chill, Ghoul, you've got all these enablers, Narcomoebas, etc. To pull out. And so 9 cards is very deep, but also given the opportunity, if you get to +1 and then go -12, go mill yourself at 12, that's also very powerful. And obviously, if you get to play it for 4 and just mill yourself at 15, you're gonna get a lot of triggers. You're gonna bring a lot of things back into play, which is really awesome. And also, it's very exciting when we get Prized Amalgam back. Prized Amalgam, just as a threat that keeps coming back, and obviously as a 3/3, is just incredible. Alright, some other things that we're playing here a bit different. So, obviously you have your Narcomoebas and your Creeping Chills. These things are fairly standard. Narcomoeba, actually, without Prized Amalgam, is a little underwhelming. Like, okay, yeah, you get a 1/1 flyer. But it's not killing your opponent very quickly, and like, it can block, but that's, yeah. One of the weakest cards in the deck, but will become, obviously, one of the strongest once we actually get Prized Amalgam. But still, hey, it's free, and if it's free, it's me. Someone says that. The other thing, or a more recent addition, if you're not familiar with the recent iterations of Dredge over the last few years, Silver Smoke Ghoul as a 3/1. When it's in the graveyard, if you gain 3 or more life in your turn, you can return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. And as this 1 black sacrifice to draw a card ability. Obviously, the synergy here is with Creeping Chill, just draining your opponent for 3 and then bringing all your ghouls back. In the blue-black version, we were leaning into Founding the Third Path with Sovereign's Bite and kind of being able to burn our opponents out, kind of get some reach. As an alternative way to bring this out, to bring Ghoul back from the graveyard. But here, we're playing fairly straightforward with Creeping Chill, and so occasionally you'll find yourself like trimming a Ghoul post-board, because you don't have tons of enablers for it. The last thing to mention, or the last couple of things, we have Haunting Deads, obviously does trigger Scrapping Scoundrel. Born is the best card, one of the best cards in your deck, at letting you grind when you're playing against the deck with tons of removal. Obviously you're bringing stuff back to the graveyard, some of it's like you're getting gradual value already, but Haunted Dead bringing like just being a couple of different bodies, is excellent. And obviously, if you've got like Scrappy Scroungers in your hand to dump or anything else, then that's great. And then we're also playing a 1 of Lurgoyf. Now, I said we're leaning into creature enablers. Lurgoyf's a bit slow. Obviously, it's like 2 mana for the actual body. It does have power and toughness equals the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and there's some synergy / anti-synergy here. But the kicker for blue or black to mill 3 cards is quite nice, but that is quite slow, and so we're only just playing as a 1 of. This was for a time like a Witherbloom command, just to have one in the main deck. But I've relegated them to sideboard to lean into it. There are some different numbers you could play. Like, there are some alternatives to Scrappy Scrounger if you don't want to lean into the Willow Geist version of the deck. There's Razor Dash Transmogrant, which from Brothers War, which comes back if your opponent has a bunch of non-basic lands, and then also like Skyclave Save, which comes back with landfall. Hey, there's some alternatives there. But yeah, I thought I'd try a Lurgoyf and see how it goes. The mana base is fairly straightforward. We've got 4 Botanical Sanctum, 4 Blooming Marsh for Dark Source, taking advantage of all of the fast lands, then some Overgrown Tombs because green and black are our main colours, and then rounding things out with 1 each of Otawara, Takanum, and Boseiju, which are all great. Obviously, the Otawara and the Boseiju get better post-board once your opponent is bringing in Graveyard Hate. That is the main thing. Game 1, you have a really good shot at winning Game 1, and then Games 2 and 3 can be a little rough, depending on the hate that they have. Whether that be Rest in Peace, Land of the Void. Some of the hate that is slower, things like Scavenging Use, you can actually race through just because your enablers are so powerful. And the other thing I wanted to say is that when Prized Amalgam gets here, and it's not been previewed for Shadows Over Innistrad Remastered yet, but you've got to think it's going to be in the set. That Spell Queller, there's some other just like must-haves in there, I think. And that is going to change the shape of Best of One, I think, personally. The Dredge deck is just super, super powerful. Let's have a look at the sideboard and then we'll play some games. So, the main thing again is dealing with whatever your opponent's hate is. So you have 4 copies of Thoughtseize. Witherbloom Command gives you an excellent way to interact with Rest in Peace and like Unlicensed Hearse. The ability to destroy non-creature, non-land permanents with mana value 2 or less. Obviously you have to be a little careful with that non-creature clause. With Hearse in particular, because it can crew it if they've got creatures untapped. But hey, a lot of time it's going to get them. It has some versatility on it as well. Like obviously you hit small creatures, you can use it to kill your own supplier, which is kind of nice. And obviously has the mill ability anyway, so if you have multiples and you don't end up having targets for them, you can just cast them for value, and it does what the deck's trying to do. Fatal Push to deal with kind of creature based answers, something like Thalia can be quite problematic. Again, we mentioned Scavenging Use, so you can play through it a little bit. And then for our own kind of things versus things like Greasefang, for our own Graveyard Hate for things like Greasefang, we have our copies of Layline of the Void is kind of the best option available for what we're doing, I think. And so, with that being said, I'm really excited for both this Dredge deck and then also the potential for Dredge once we finally get Prized Amalgam. And so we're going to hop into some ranked games. Oh, at this point, also, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe. I've got a ton of stuff planned. Obviously, Phyrexia has been out for a while now. I've got a few more things left with that, which you might be able to see from my deck screen. But also, Shadows Over Innistrad Remastered dropping soon. I'll have a bunch of stuff coming away. So, hey, yeah. Let's get into the ranked games. Alright. Into our first game. See how the deck does. There's a couple of archetypes kind of on the way to that I want to kind of touch on the way to Shadows Over Innistrad Remastered, just because they're going to get some boosts. I kind of want to showcase them before and after. So here we have the Creeping Chill, but we also have Jace coming up on turn 3. Kind of like a mulligan, but we have a lot of what we want. Like I would not keep this. Like we almost kind of have a double mulligan, but we're kind of banking on Stitch Supply plus Jace being good enough. I am happy enough to do that, especially because we have the 3 lands already, which means even though we have this Creeping Chill in him now, we maybe get to cast it. Okay, now it does look a bit more silly. And now we've drawn an Archimedes. But I guess it just gives us a turn 2 play. Yeah, we're just going to curve out. Alright, sure. Gigantha into Stomping Ground. There are a couple of different options for what this could be. I'm a little curious. Obviously, like the traditional like red-green monsters kind of deck wants to play like Embercleave and stuff like that. There are some variations of it that don't, though. Ooh, this is awkward because we've got our 4 fast lands. Well, we're gonna want to cast an Archimedes. This is Stomp, I would imagine. Curious if they do. I guess they would just fire off an Archimedes just so they can play the Bunker's Giant with no qualms on turn 3. Or maybe you stomp the supplier just to... No, you don't stomp the supplier. What am I talking about? Anyway. We'll see. See how they play it. One thing is that these red-green decks occasionally do have some removal of exiles, which can be annoying. Ooh, Miglo's all the kind of like new pickups. We're gonna... I said this last time that we're gonna wait until turn 4 for Jace, and then was like, oh yeah, hang on. But we don't have the lands to play. I think I'm just going to make it here, try and get the fastest start possible. I It can... I was trying to remember all the modes. I guess it's Menace, not Trample. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to roll this out. By far the most powerful thing we can do in our hands. So here's the moment of truth. We're going to play Jace out. We can plus on Migors. Which is a little dangerous, I think. Especially when there's like... deal like obliterating bolt that can just kill the Jace off. I think we're just going to minus X here. We're going to go for the big mill 9. And see what we hit. Alright, there's a knock on you, but no copy of the Crippling Chill. We did hit some Scavengers, Scourgers, and a copy of Haunted Dead. I'm not going to attack. I will double block if you give Menace. So, the other thing to keep an eye on is like... Yeah, so we have one Silver Smoke, Silver Mogul, so if we cast this Crippling Chill, one of those is going to come back. And we have some other bits to play around with. Wait. Just gonna straight up attack. Oh, maybe they could also have main deck scavenging use, which would be, you know, a bit unfortunate. They'd be able to exile 2 cards here in that case. But we did hit Creeping Chill. Love to see that, because that's going to bring the ghouls back on this end step, which means we'll be able to attack with them. Which is big. I do declare. This line does make me think they maybe had a use. But, hey. Phyrexia Giant Lana Warrior Elf. End step. The R end step. Give your end step. Oops. Alright. We have Haunted Dead. Casting the Creeping Chill here brings back 1, 2 ghouls. The ability... The thing is with the Scrapping Giants, they're not as powerful without Willow Geist in play. I think our best line is activating Haunting Dead and then bringing back a Scrapping Scavenger, looking to Creeping Chill from our hand next turn. Yeah. I'm just gonna say go here. Because I think we might have to block with this Archreaver, unfortunately. Ooh, Sword is sweet. I kinda love this. I spent a bunch of time kind of like... Well, I put together a Naiad lightsaber list. Just like jamming 4 copies of Sword of Frontier, just trying to make it turn 2 off of Lana or else. Equip it with like Fervent Champions and just like start swinging with it as fast as possible. Is very cool. Ooh, okay. Good with Meglaws. Yes. Oh, they're the cop one, gotcha. Sure. See what they attack with. Okay. We want to pit Silver School and the land here. Probably there. Should have been the Scrappy Scavenger. We can block a couple of things. Is it, do we want to try and assemble lethal flying blockers, or do we want to try and block more things next turn? This gives this indestructible eventually, which is so. They're playing Giganthus, we don't need to worry about Embercleave, but this does give protection from none of the creature types we actually care about, I guess. I think we're fine to let this hit. Yeah. No box. Let's see if we can assemble a little army of our own. And then threaten to actually trade with the creatures. Fortunately, this one cannot actually block. We'll exile a supply for it. Yeah. These get way better with Willow Geist, but without it are a little underwhelming. It's obviously like solid. But hey. There are some options. Oh, they have priority because they can sacrifice this. Ooh, okay. Crispy Salvage is an interesting one. So at the moment, we have Creeping Chill, which brings back these ghouls, but they're tapped. We're going to be wanting to block this time. We've got some blockers. Makes me want to... You can always... Like, if you don't draw anything else, if you don't find something to do, we can always scrap each Scavenger from our hand. Let's cast Crispy Salvage. I want to see what we hit. Ooh. Nothing. The answer. Okay. The Logos does block, right? Like a house. One might think. Unfortunately, no mana to kick. Yeah, I should have kept the Botanical Sanctum and put this in the graveyard, I think. So we have one big blocker. This can't block, so we'll attack. And do we want to stop things on here? So if they don't block here, obviously this can't block whatever's the sword on it, which will probably be the Miglos. Yeah, I feel like we need to keep things back. I would like to avoid the sword connecting, but also like to not die to other creatures. Essentially, they also only make a sword attack if they can kind of clear our other stuff. We don't really know what their hand looks like. We shall see. And if we can stabilize the Lurgoyf, then we can go for the Creeping Chill play from hand. And start bringing back our other attackers. Alright. Maybe we've stabilized. Not gonna lie, seeing the Gigantha makes me feel much more confident. Also, Embercleave kind of combos with the sword if you think about it. Alright, let's see. Ooh, Sword Art's Giant is interesting. Okay. Well, the Miglos, you can recruit 2 counters to get +2/+2. Quite limiting. I'm gonna make all the attacks. This blocks here. This can save it, so we don't necessarily want to block that. I'll block with the Haunted Egg, so we can bring that back, I think. We don't have enough power to kind of actually threaten it. Do that this 3. If they want to save the Miglos, so +2/+2. It's Vigilance doesn't do anything. Yeah. They might have, let's see, 5 damage here. Ooh, they might, if they're running swords, maybe they have the 5 damage equipment spell. Yeah, I'd rather keep the flies around, though we're not blocking. Maybe the actual block is something that looks like this. Except we swap these 2. Right, okay. Let's see what they actually have. This way we threaten to kill the Hajjar if they don't sacrifice it. Alright, so they're gonna sack it away. I was just doing 5 damage, so now our bolt will kill the Lurgoyf. Oh, except it won't. The Narcomoeba is gonna die. Thinking. Okay. So far so good. I have 3 mana? What are we debating? Okay, Stomping Grounds. I do have an Obliterating Bolt. Yeah, this was kind of a get you moment. A little bit. Okay, so we have Sanctum, we have that. We now, I think, do have significant time to figure stuff out. The one thing we have to remember is that we're depowering the Lurgoyf by doing this. But that is okay, I think. We're looking to block with Haunted Dead this time. We actually want to keep these 2 in hand. Sounds right. Obviously, if we have a removal spell for this, we just kill it. It's pretty funny, but yeah. We're drawing a card. If we draw a good card, We already have 4 mana. Would you let us Scapy Scavenger and bring back the Haunted Dead? I think this is. I'd rather just have 2 cards that I know I don't mind discarding. Obviously, bring back our army of Silvermote Ghouls. And that is the combo, but normally we don't want to be casting the Creeping Chill from our hand. Alright. See, the Lurgoyf is now not as big. I'm going to give it Vigilance and Menace. Is that actually up to much? This the blocks I want to make. I think so. They have the option to pump the Maw Crusher, the Maze Crusher in order to kill the Lurgoyf. but they have to spend all their mana to do this way. No, they don't have counters to do it an extra time. And this sword does create some problems, but like we're okay here. Ooh, I should have swapped these blocks around. No, because we need to do 8, right? Yeah, we need to block like this. I wanted to have the Haunted Dead like that. Drawing Jace is pretty solid though. Again, can't make it before. We can Jace. Plus, these can actually block. Still kind of want to pitch these to the Haunted Dead. Not gonna lie. Let's make Jace. We could also plus here and do some shenanigans. I don't hate that. I hate it. I do hate it. Let's go. Now what do we hit? One Mark Amoeba. No chills. We have a bunch of cards you want to bet out of the graveyard though. How many of these do you want to attack with? They're just going to keep the game up. Yeah, they know they can't actually grind through us to the point, which is we have effectively infinite resources to block it. And yeah, we're going to be able to bring back enough stuff. Okay, so in this match, what do we want to bring in? What are we worried about in terms of graveyard hate? Scavenging use. Okay. Yeah, I think Fatal Push is our best bet there. I don't think they're going to have Hearse. Obviously, they don't have to Rest in Peace. So I just want to bring those in. In terms of what we trim, again, like the Silver Mogul, gets significantly worse. We've not had a Willow Geist start. It's fair. This Lurgoyf is kind of like the last card in the deck. I'm fine removing it. It does block really well, but they do have Sword. Are they going to keep Sword in, knowing that they've only seen a couple of green creatures? Because they didn't see like Willow Geist or Satyr Wayfinder in play. Interesting. On the draw, I also don't mind trimming a Scrounger. One Archimedes. Just going like -1, -1, -1. The thing is that Haunted Dead and like some things you just can't get. The Haunted Dead is not like amazing here, but it does let us grind really well against them. Scrounger not blocking is pretty miserable, and Narcomoeba is again not super valuable. I think even with the sword, I want to keep the Lurgoyf in. So I think I go -1 here. And so yeah, when you're sideboarding with Dredge, which can appear quite hard because you're like all the cards kind of are a bit redundant, trimming down on a couple of the numbers is totally fine. Obviously, like Grisly Salvage and Satyr Wayfinder, the Supplier, those are our kind of kill enablers. We don't want to cut any of them. Creeping Chill is obviously the most powerful thing you can do, milling cards. And then kind of the other bits that we're using are kind of payoff cards. We're not cutting any of the Willow Geists. This is what we're trying to take advantage of. That's what we're building towards. But yeah. Give me the other bits which are more fragile we can trim down on. Alright. The game up. We'll see what they're bringing. Yeah, if it turns out they do have Hearse, there are points where we could catch it. Oh dear. Get rid of that. And we will keep this. I'll get rid of an Overgrimton again. Alright, note to self, if we draw a second Botanical Sands, just play it already. Here we're going to make Supplier into Satyr Wayfinder. Oh, so we're playing 19 lands. You have some allowances. Between Grisly Salvage and Satyr Wayfinder, you can find lands. And so you can play a little bit less. In Pioneer, I was playing 16. Which sounds horrific, but with like otherworldly gaze and some other bits and pieces, like you're actually fairly good. You've got some ways to kind of control your draws a bit. Okay, so now we have a Willow Geist and a Scrappy Scrounger in our graveyard. Interesting. I think for now we still want to say a Wayfinder, but next turn, oh, then we've got Jace. How are we sequencing this? We're going to build this up afterwards. The other thing is that while we can't enable it straight away, we can always do like Willow Geist, Scrappy Scrounger next turn. Anyway, let's see what we hit. I think setting up on the field is important. Having a Warrior some flexibility is handy. Okay. Um, not at a point where I want to start blocking the nothing yet, but we can have quite a bit of damage coming our way. Fine with this attack. So we do have some things. Okay, the one Megalo's on time as well. That can be hasted. It's just a trample this turn. I kind of want to block it just to save us some damage. So we are. I think I'm going to 14. Again, without Ember Cleave, I'm actually not as worried. And with the ability to give it Vigilant, to give it. So we're now and again another spot where like the Jace has the ability, we have the ability to go hard on Jace. When you go Jace -9, Jace -15. The Jace mill 9, Jace mill 15. Oh dear. It's just in a situation we're going to play the Outer Warrior. They've not seen this yet. Alright, that's no attacks and we can bring the Hotted Dead back, so we've got some decent blockers. The MTG obviously puts a couple of counters on the Willow Geist, so maybe we get an opportunity to make a good attack with it. They're gonna giant here. I feel like I should just try and turn this off rather than like worrying too much about it. Given the circumstances, I think I should do this. Just show them how things work. It also gains life when it dies. Like if they have a second Mercury Giant, then like, okay, fair enough. Fair play. Yeah. The onboard trick. Get him. They can give this like. I'm just gonna cast it. Okay. And then what are we saying? Now we actually have threatening blocks against them. Oh, they get the Mercury Giant. So we keep the Willow Geist alive, or we don't. We can't put the Scavenging use. They're not attacked with the well, obviously this is just I guess it's eaten. This can block the Bone Crusher Giant. Again, we gain life because its power when this dies. I don't have to put these in with a bust. They can obviously play more stuff next turn. I would like to minus with Jace out. This creature. My card. I'm gonna do this. Alright team, let's big smile. Let's try and do the thing. Alright, what do we hit? You know what? That's not that impressive. This is to attack. Okay. We're getting Silver Smoke Ghoul back. But, They conceded? I guess they're on 6. I can't see their hand, obviously. I guess if they drew nothing. Well, they've got, like, Miglos there with a bunch of counters on it. I feel like there was some way you could, play around that. They can even pop my Scrapping Scavenger. I guess because the Willow Geist is gaining me life, but if you have a way to... Hey. Alright, well. I will see you in the next rank game. We'll play one more. Alright. It turns out that playing Jace and just milling yourself for 15 is pretty strong. If you do get casted for 4 mana. Yeah. I mean, it looked fairly underwhelming, but it actually did a lot, and obviously its stocks are graveyard full of stuff. It's less good versus Rested Beast. Again. Okay. The things that actually just, like, completely... There's double Creeping Chill in hand. I think we're going to mulligan this. Even though, like, Land and Wayfinder is fine. It's not particularly fast. This is also not tons better than... So we have Jace, but we're not doing anything to turn 3. Our turn 2 players cast Mark Amoeba. We are going to mull to 5. Alright, mulligan to 5 is not very good. Maybe we'll record 3 games. I'm mulligan to 5 has Silver Smoke Ghoul, Creeping Chill, Narcomoeba, but it's already a mulligan to 4, really. I don't do this very often. We'll do it. Okay, we've got double. Ooh, okay. Yo, this is a sick 4. Actually, this is actually like the nuts 4. Okay. We keep 4. We get rid of Jace. We get rid of the Silver Smoke Ghoul. We get rid of Creeping Chill, and we have Coast Geist as just a player. All right. Come on, one time for the one. We'll leave with a Geist because it's just a player could mill over like Narcomoebas and stuff. They're gonna read that and then be like, huh, man. I still love these Transformers. Well, actually, no. I kind of love these Transformer sleeves once, and then I'm like, these are annoying. We'll make these out, and then we'll see. Temple Garden can mean a lot of different things. Could be something like Angels. If you're playing Angels with Starscream sleeves, like that is Starscream, right? Yeah, okay. Let's say. I'm disappointed. That's all. Okay. If it's not, I feel dumb, but hey. This is unfortunately before my era of Transformers, really. Starting like Armada, I guess. Yeah, Armada's the best series I saw. I'll take away Finder's a hand. We go in with supplier attack. They're gonna go to AT to carry on with their life. Alright. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, the Radiant Fountains, a trigger the Resplendent Angel. I'm done. Alright. No. Game 2. We can't win through this. Okay. So... Thoughtseize, like Fatal Push is not good versus the deck. That's fine. The problem is that we kind of have to bring these in for... If we showed just enough to get them to bring in Rest in Peace. Alright, let's have a think about this. How did I accidentally bring that Layla? Okay. Do you need... The upside of Willow Rune Command is that it doubles as an enable, but I'm going to cut the kind of chaff bits that I've kind of been on about before. Again, down. We trim a little, then we're kind of like, alright, so we got Witherbloom Command as an additional enabler. It makes taking out the creature makes the Scrap Heap Scoundrel worse. Take away Finder is worse than Christie Salvage. This is factually accurate. But both of these are good. It's like we're adding another labor which covers up acts in some situations. I think I go down 1 copy of Haunted Dead and then I'm gonna cut some Takeaway Finders. I think that's right. Like the Willow Geist plan isn't. The other thing is I'm not like. I thought Caesar's lets us actually interact with what they're doing. As well as also being like a thing to say Rest in Peace. So I think that this is where I am. The Wayfinder's also obviously not attacking or blocking this matchup. Let's run with it. Alright, okay. Angel's tough. Especially on the mulligan to 4. It was a good mulligan to 4, we just didn't quite get there. The Markby was the top card, and if it was like the second to top card, then we would have still lost, but it would have looked cooler. Let's play. What we have the one Stitcher Supplier, the one Thoughtseize. That's what we're going. And even here, we've got a couple of things to cast. We don't want to keep one lander. This looks much more solid. I'm gonna bomb the Haunted Dead, I think. It's like our last hand, but with like lands and more enablers. Almost like the ideal version of what our last hand would be. We'll lead off with Willow Geist again. I do want to get this Willow Geist in play before we cast the Christie Salvage. So we're gonna lead. Ooh, Scrub's an interesting addition. Cool. What is it with Narcomoebas off the top? We didn't cut one of these. Alright. Double Jace Spitty. All attack. can't block. I need that. Listen, I've played with this card a bunch. Alright, anyway. Get the Radiant Pattern out now, I can't do anything. So now we could, in theory, cast the Jace. We have the opportunity to bring back Haunted Dead, which is interesting. But casting Christy Salvage seems like the plan. Alright, gets into the Willow Geist. Let's Scrappy the Challenge in the graveyard. Oh, do we have a creature in the graveyard already? We do, but it's a Haunted Dead. We can maybe discard a card to the Haunted Dead and then bring back the... Yeah. Do we need a land? No. I'm gonna grab Willow Geist. Well, unfortunately we're not casting it yet, but... Okay. Yeah, for some more damage, and then we've got to start weathering the storm. Alright. Righteous Valkyrie. Yep. I don't really feel about how much... Oh, this is nice here, but again, doesn't let us... We have to get our land back, though. I think I like that, even though we're not... I want to do this, and then this. Gonna target me and target the Skrelv. We could target the Citrus Supplier. Maybe that's better. SAG. Play the Besagi. I think we make some attacks. Let's see what they do. Notably, Scrub is not protection. Go on. Block a Willow Geist, that'll be fun. They didn't block. Why? So if we bring back the Scrappy Scrounger, these are going to do 4. Don't only have the Haunted to exile. Downside to that. I think this turn we allow this. Cast the new one. And next turn we can activate the Haunted Dead and then Scrappy Scrounger. And we can exile an Archimedes to it. So the question here is if they've got company or not, right? They don't, but second rank Valkyrie is very strong. So yeah, if they have like Exo Scrub, you're probably cutting some of the like kind of miserable 1-drops you sometimes see crop up in the Angelus. Okay, Shape of Sanctuary is a sign of them not having tons of sideboard cards for us. Alright, let us Haunted Dead. And declare attacks. Alright. Scrappy Scrounger activating multiple triggers is quite powerful. If this hits 2 Creeping Chills, that would be the ultimate. Okay, no. But hey. We do have a lot of damage on board now, and they're on 4. Imagine it gets Creeping Chills. Anyway. Never would I have asked for Creeping Chills if I hit them this game. In these matches, to be fair. We need to stop that. Alright, so assuming they didn't, like, board into Day of Judgment. Day of Judgment equivalent. We should be headed to game 3. I don't want to speak too soon. I feel like if they have company, they should cast company. But the thing is, with the Valkyrie, they could potentially stabilize still, even though our board looks pretty nuts. Okay. I'm curious what they had. Do I think we've sold it accurately? We've seen Sanctuary, we've seen some other bits and pieces. So our sidebook, we've not seen what their graveyard hate is. We have to assume that it's Rest in Peace. We've got the 4 copies of Willow Bloom Command, we've got the 4 copies of Thoughtseize. Unfortunately, we lost game 1, so we have to be on the draw here. But yeah, they've now seen what the deck can do, and that's going to be worse for us. One of the nice things about Dredge is that often you're taking your opponents by surprise. So hey, let's see. Yeah, that game kind of showcases the power of Scrap Heap Scrounger and kind of why, even though it's a little underwhelming normally in Dredge, with Willow Geist is actually really strong. And obviously the Willow Geist also have Trample, which means those counters do matter a ton. Yeah, big props. I'm not sure what the best build will be once we get Prized Amalgam. I have a feeling that because we still don't have Breaking and Entering, there's no big spell based instant sorcery based mill card. That Sultai might end up being better. But with Prized Amalgam, you maybe don't need Willow Geists to kind of rely on. We'll see. You have a bunch of really good enablers. There are choices, which is going to be interesting to suss that out and work out which I like best. This is very, very solid. I love to see the double living command. We have a setup in our hand. We're going to lead Supplier into Grizzly Salvage and see what we hit, which is, I guess, the motto of the deck. But yeah. Alright. Let's see what we hit. Okay. Do they have a Rest in Peace? They have a Bishop, which is maybe worse for us. We don't really know yet. Unfortunately, don't have a good opportunity to... So we might go... Yeah, let's put some cards on the grave. We have a second. We have a second one. Do we? Oh, real quick. Let's cancel. Let's just Grizzly Savage, I think. So we don't know that we have a land we get to hit. We do want to hit one, I think. Oh, we've got double Creeping Chill plus Narc Amoeba. Okay. We do want to land. We don't mind it being over Dark Six Shores. This makes Jace a bit better later on. Okay, yeah. Because there's a very good chance this game comes down to can we find the other 2 Creeping Chills. I would let this go to the battlefield. I would let these come into play. Sorry, yeah. And I will... That was a supply. I expect it to go through. Alright, I put it down to 13. Which, seems solid. But, we shall see. Yeah, so down 1 Jace. They're going to gain this life back very quickly. This is what you do not want to see when you're playing against this deck. Again, Bishop Blings is the one card in the deck we want to actually have Fatal Push for, but it's just not worth it, I think. We have to kind of gamble with the Wing Command here, I think. Gonna hit ourselves for 6. Narc Amoeba. It's the Jace. Okay. We have a land. Okay. I can't attack anymore because of Valkyrie. The thing is, if the Angels deck kind of plays out how he wants to, it is a bad matchup for Dredge, unfortunately. If we had access to Abrupt Decay, which unfortunately we don't have in Explorer, a little bit better, because then we have something that catches the Rest in Peace, as well as the Bishop of the Righteous Valkyrie. But hey. And while Willow Bloom Command is nice, I think that would replace it in the sideboard. We have Overgreen Team, which can do things. If they have an angel, we can't keep them off of 27. I don't think Hasting Haunting Dead is the way to do it. Do you have to roll this out? Mill and yeah, it's nothing. If we have like a Haunting Dead in the graveyard, we can make something happen maybe. But this just spells GG, I think. Alright, we got to do, I think, one of the games. Yeah. Just lights out. I will not block this time. Alright, so our plan here is to draw Jace. Okay, that didn't happen. Yeah, that's gonna be GG. We can make like a flying blocker and block these. We can get another draw step, right? Getting a Haunting Dead in the graveyard also helps us out a decent amount. We might be able to survive for a little bit. The problem is we're never going to chip them down from the high life total. We don't have the removal spell for the creatures. Well, we'll try and make it interesting. Rather than just keep it, just keep it up. Maybe they run out of cards to do things. Let's do this. We'll go down to 6. Means that we can take a 5 next turn. They just gotta have Collector Company, right? You gotta think. If we had a land, we could go like Haunted Dead. We really do be on the let's Haunted Dead. The Haunted Dead train. We can also cast a Silvermite Ghoul. Casting Silvermite Ghoul means we're dead to most things. The bulk of Bishop Wings. We're kind of playing around them having just have to expect them to have nothing. If they have something, we're dead. Like, yes, we will take another hit for 5 from the Eco Valkyrie and go to 1. That is our method to win the game. Portable Hole will lock it up. That is GG's. Alright, okay. Well, Angels is a polarizing matchup, but fair enough, fair enough. This Dredge deck is going to get a lot better with Prized Amalgam. Or well, the Dredge deck in Explorer is going to get a lot better with Prized Amalgam. Keep your eye out for that. I'm going to be posting a few different videos of that when it comes out. Hopefully. I guess it's not confirmed yet, but I will write it if it is not in the set. I guess. No, I will. I'll be very unhappy. So yeah, stonks for Prized Amalgam. But hey, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like it and maybe hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And more Explorer content. I'm doing got a couple of Pioneer bits and pieces coming out as well. I occasionally delve into Modern with the paper deck stuff, just covering the decks I've been playing in paper when I go to paper tournaments. But yeah, primarily like Explorer Arena content. And so hey, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.